The Eternal Roots, a coastal haven saga. The weight of the past. Coastal haven wasn't born of romantic history. It was forged from coal dust, sweat, and the roar of the sea. Nestled beneath Dragon's Peak, this town served as a vital strategic transport hub, with ore and cargo ships docking 24 hours a day. In the early November gloom, the town was perpetually shrouded in a thick salt mist, a caustic haze of diesel, fine coal particles, and ocean humidity that clung to the skin and obscured the view. Mr. Kai Hong Ming Ti, a retired geological engineer in his early 80s, was a familiar sight on the newly paved backroads. For over 2 decades, he maintained his daily dawn walk, not merely for health but, as he confided, to keep watch over the affairs of the world. Around 5 a.m., before the inky blackness of night fully receded, Mr. Kai would leave his house, his legs frail and shaking under the burden of chronic arthritis. Yet, the ebony cane in his hand struck the road with resolute force. Passing my gate, I'm Daniel Lee, a retired civil engineer, and his much younger confidant. He'd tapped the iron gate 3 times. Knock, knock, knock. It was the signal to join him. I knew he wasn't just walking, he was escaping something. I opened the gate. Mr. Kai stood there, his back slightly bowed, but his eyes, sharp as flint, cutting through the dim streetlights. "You're too early, Kai," I said, pulling on a thick jacket. His deep, rattling cough sounded like grinding stones. "Can't sleep, Daniel. Just waiting for the light. Live long enough, and you realize the affairs of the world will consume you if you don't watch them closely." Mr. Kai's obsession stemmed from a life of sacrifice tragically undermined. As a young, brilliant engineer, he was dispatched to the northern frontier to execute the Azurite Project, a seemingly impossible endeavor to extract a rare, strategic mineral. He succeeded, securing a massive national victory, but the triumph cost him 18 years away from his family. During his exile, his contemporary, Mr. Trong Phum Van Trung, a local political figure, had manipulated records, stolen credit for the Azurite Project's success, and used that political capital to ascend the local hierarchy, eventually reaching the provincial level. Worse, Mr. Trong had seduced Mr. Kai's wife, Mrs. Duong, resulting in their daughter, Catherine, being biologically Mr. Trong's child. Mr. Kai had pieced together the entire conspiracy from the forged relocation denial letters that kept him at the border to the systemic destruction of his family. The secret ledger. As Mr. Kai's health rapidly deteriorated, his focus sharpened. His walk became a desperate hunt for his secret ledger, a hidden document containing his technical diaries, geological data proving Mr. Trong's fraud, and his personal indictment. He guided me to the former site of the old Monkey Bridge, now the location of a modern national highway toll station. Mr. Trong, knowing Mr. Kai would seek physical evidence, had paved over the original geological marker. Mr. Kai, however, deduced that the corrupt official wouldn't fully eliminate the old infrastructure. He would build over it. I enlisted my grandnephew, Ethan, a sharp architecture student, to assist. Using ground-penetrating radar, Ethan found a buried steel pipe 5 meters down, resting just beneath the new toll station's substructure, a serious structural flaw that could cause the auxiliary substation to collapse. This location was deliberately chosen by Mr. Trong to permanently hide the evidence and silence his past. After a tense night operation down the old, deliberately misaligned sewage tunnels, a system Mr. Trong had manipulated for land deals, we retrieved the secret ledger. The ledger was not merely a personal diary, it was a technical indictment detailing the Azurite Project's actual yields and Mr. Trong's original orders to minimize information and report a secondary, fictional mineral called Vorf, or instead. The design specifications for the Eternal Roots system, Mr. Kai's original seismic sensor system, which Mr. Trong claimed to have replaced, but was, in fact, still running underground. The horrifying revelation: Mr. Trong had utilized Mr. Kai's original energy optimization algorithms, the Volful formula, to run the town's current market behavior optimization system, MBOS, a digital apparatus that collects data on citizens' habits to predict and manipulate their social behavior for political and economic gain. The daughter's choice. Mr. Kai, frail but mentally lucid, revealed the full scope of the disaster. Mr. Trong's corruption wasn't just historical, it was an active threat. The MBOS was programmed to ignore or falsify the real-time subsidence warnings from the old Eternal Roots system. This cover-up was causing the newly expanded Port Berth Number 3 to sink rapidly due to over-extraction of the azurite layer beneath it. The port faced a catastrophic collapse within a month or two, especially with the approaching hurricane season. Mr. Trong, sensing his secret was exposed, launched a soft power counterattack, trying to have Mr. Kai institutionalized. Catherine, the daughter, arrived, pressured by Mr. Trong to convince her father, Mr. Kai, to retire quietly. Mr. Kai, however, challenged her morality, revealing that the specialized high-speed server in her high-end tailor shop in the city was the very physical backdoor to the MBOS, a fact Mr. Trong exploited, trusting his biological daughter's loyalty. Catherine, tearing apart between the powerful biological father who gave her wealth and the honest adoptive father who gave her character, chose the latter. She provided Ethan with the backdoor access password, Azurite, giving the team a crucial entry point into the massive system. The final walk and public justice. Mr. Kai, choosing public justice over personal revenge, directed us not to expose Mr. Trong's full crimes immediately, but to prevent the catastrophe first. Ethan anonymously leaked the highly technical subsidence data from the secret ledger onto a provincial engineering forum, forcing a routine inspection at the sinking Port Berth Number 3. The morning after the leak, Mr. Kai took his final walk with me. His voice was a whisper, but his spirit was clear. My life's affair is complete, Daniel. I spoke the truth. I chose not to surrender. Minutes later, he collapsed. He passed away peacefully in my arms, having received the final news that the port was under inspection. He died before seeing Mr. Trong's downfall, yet with a profound sense of contentment. In a final irony, Mr. Trong, who feigned deep grief at Mr. Kai's funeral, died suddenly just 3.5 months later. The two old rivals were buried near each other on Dragon's Hill Cemetery. The true reckoning began after the burials. Ethan and I, with Catherine's full assistance, used the physical backdoor at her tailor shop to inject a compelled function program into the MBOS. Our goal: to force the corrupt system to prioritize the physical truth over its programmed lies. The program was launched just as a Category 8 tropical storm slammed into coastal Haven. In the chaos of the hurricane, every digital display across the port suddenly flashed a warning based on the Eternal Roots system's real-time data. Emergency collapse risk, Port Berth Number 3. The compulsory function worked. Workers evacuated instantly. 10 minutes later, with the sound swallowed by the storm's roar, Port Berth Number 3 completely collapsed into the sea. Hundreds of lives and billions in assets were saved by minutes. Legacy and the dawn. The port's collapse became the final judgment on Mr. Trong's legacy. The investigation exposed his 3 decades of engineering and political fraud. The secret ledger became the foundational document for the prosecution and the subsequent rebuilding. Mr. Kai's name was fully restored. He was recognized not only as the Azurite Project's true discoverer, but as the visionary behind the Eternal Roots system that saved the town. Mrs. Duong established the Azurite Foundation to support public works, seeking atonement for her own loneliness and guilt. Catherine closed her city business and returned to coastal Haven, utilizing her expertise to lead the port's reconstruction based on Mr. Kai's honest, original engineering schematics. She chose to honor the man who raised her by building a future based on his integrity. Now, every morning, I walk the paved road alone. Mr. Kai's cough is gone, but his spirit remains. I look toward the sea, where the rebuilt port is rising, built on the solid foundation of honesty. The coastal haven air, now clearer after the scandal purged the old corruption, finally breathes a true dawn, unburdened by the corrosive salt mist of a lie. The bitter fight was not about who died first. It was about whether the truth was strong enough to outlive the lie. And thanks to the courage of a dying man and the efforts of the next generation, the truth won.